I'm ready.
Yeah, sure. Let me open the script.
Yeah. Oh.
You're tuned into my station, your station, ZiFM Stereo, one station that brings you nothing but the best. We are live on our Facebook page, X, Instagram, at ZiFM Stereo. Tell everyone to tune in. I would love to welcome you all, innovators, dreamers. Today we are stepping into a realm where creative meets technology and storytelling transcends traditional boundaries. We are honored to have with us visionary. We have redefined the art of photograph, Veneka Zurin. With 8 international magazine features, he has not only captured images, but he has woven narratives that resonates across cultures and time. In a world where visuals shape our perceptions, Veneka Zurin stands at the cutting edge, blending artistry with groundbreaking technology. Today, we'll explore the journey, delve into the challenges he has faced, and uncover the secrets behind his stunning work. So prepare to be inspired as we embark on this enlightening conversation. Let's welcome Mr. Zurun. Yes, today there's so much to talk about. Join the conversation, be part of the conversation. Send your messages on 0772 168 045 0772 168 045 0772 168 045. I'm Kudakwashe Chimpuri. Yes, we'll be joined by Veneka Zurumi. Yes, welcome, Seth, to the show.
Hi. You made me sound so cool.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's my duty. You need to relax and feel calm.
Amazing. Am I going to live up to that legend?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
So in short, with Veneka Ziruni. I hope I got the same right.
Yes, that's perfect. Veneka is a person who takes photos, and they're usually pretty good.
If you say it's just a person who takes photos, everyone does take photos. Would you agree with me on that one? Everyone do take photos, but I know I'm a journalist, of course. I passed through what we call photojournalism in college. So photojournalism, it requires a certain skills or certain angles. So we need to understand, or we just need to talk about that. Do you have some certain skills, or you are just a lucky individual who just got them up and you just bumped into it? But you're talking about 8 international published magazines. That's not a joke. I mean, to say, I've got the secret. Also, tell us what's the secret behind that.
All right. So I'm not a lucky individual.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm a hardworking individual. The hard work turns into luck. Basically, I started my photography career through charity work. The first thing that I wanted to do after school was not university. After high school, it was not university. I wanted to do charity work. So I stepped into that, and at one point, I was doing full-time charity, and we had gone to a little village in Mozambique called Gruja. We were doing disaster relief, and basically they were hit by Cyclone Idai, and their crops had been destroyed, some of their houses, and basically the guys had no food. So we took 2 tons of food and water out to them. We happened to also bring a camera. So on that trip, while we were helping them, there was one moment where we were handing down food to the people, and everyone reached up at the same time. And I happened to have a camera on me, and I took a picture of that moment. And just the humanity of that I saw, that I captured. That was my first international publication.
So, is it proper or appropriate to say was a lucky moment?
One lucky moment is what started my career.
That changed the whole career.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. I heard you mentioned a lot to do with charity work. You are the one guy who loved charity work so much. And what has been your biggest inspiration? Where have you been drawing these lines of charity work?
Okay, so I suppose my biggest inspiration is my mother. Like, my mother has been a charity worker for like the longest time, and she still is. And the final point of whatever she does, even if it's making money, is to come around and help someone. And it's someone who she's never gonna meet. Someone who she won't even know, but she knows that she's helping that person. And yeah, like basically just growing up as her child, I would watch her do this, and I understood the beauty of it. I understood the humanity of it. I understood that someone gave her that hope, and she's passing it forward. And as for me, I've also become like this.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I really understand. So, you being a photographer, appreciating that you have done a lot of works. Can you tell us about the issue to do with the conceptualization? How do you conceptualize a concept, turning it into a picture? How do you view, like like a photographer doesn't view things like with the eye of a mere a public person, or with a just like a person who's in the streets, a vendor, but you view things with a certain concept. How do you conceptualize? Do you
Okay.
train your brains? How do you do that?
All right. So my sponsor, the one who helped me to start my media house,
Who's the sponsor?
um, she's a person from BRS Investments. However, she doesn't like attention drawn exactly to her.
All
So I'm
right.
not going to mention her name, but
All
I'll
right.
mention
Okay.
BRS Investments in Bulawayo.
All right. Congratulations on that one.
Thank
You told me about that one. That was off the camera. That was off record. We'll need maybe to say a brief about that. Yeah. You can go on so that maybe we'll get to talk about that later.
Okay. Yeah. What was the question I was answering?
How do you conceptualize it?
Oh, yes, conceptualizing. Okay, good. She pointed out to me the reason why she chose me instead of another person.
So what was the reason?
The reason was, she said, there's a separation between an artist and a creative. A creative draws from spirituality and brings something into reality. An artist can have artist's block because they are conceptualizing and they're making something. A spiritual person isn't making something.
So maybe before you proceed, so we are saying a photographer is also an artist.
I don't. Well, there's some photographers who are artists. Then there are some photographers who are creatives. It's a different category.
So there is a thin line that separates both artists and photographers.
Yes.
So what's the thin line?
The thin line is spirituality. So I'm manifesting something. Someone else is creating something. This is different.
I see.
Do you see? If I have some vision, some deep vision of Africa, some like beauty, some, dark skin, which has a glow or a shine or a glitter or a glisten to it. Some ancient tribes, some magic that we have conjured up in Africa. If I have that, I'm manifesting it. Even right now as I speak, you can see it's flowing out of me quite naturally. I did not make something before I said that. I'm manifesting it. So there's people who make and people who manifest. She says, I chose you because you're a person who manifests. You're not making photographs. You're manifesting them.
Okay. How has been your journey? Like you said the first time you did a picture about the cyclone hit high. From that moment, how has been your journey? What was the next stage from that moment? Tell us.
Okay. So I spent 4 years of my life doing full-time charity work. I would just keep getting published for when I do charitable work like that. And at one point, what they did was they moved me to their media crew because they saw I had a little knack for it or a little talent. But I wasn't trained, and these people were trained. So I was intimidated. But I'm also a Zimbabwean, and we can read. So what I did was I just started picking up books myself, and on the bus, on the way to wherever we were going, I'd be reading books, and I'd be reading books. And in the middle of the night, at some odd hour of the night, I'd be awake reading books, until the point where I got to having read about 63, 64 books on the subject of photography. That's when I considered myself enough of a professional that I can actually trade blows with that person who has a certificate or a diploma from America. After I got about 60 or so books, I was ready to compete.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now let's delve into the issue to do with sponsorship. I understand you're starting your own media house. How have you been? Or are you on the final stages of maybe of the completion of the media house? Tell us which is which.
It's already opened.
Opened.
I'm a very action-oriented person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to have something to do something.
Yes.
So I've already started the media house. It's composed of personnel,
Mm-hmm.
and right now the million is being funneled towards
The million one, the million USD, the million
1 million rand.
1 million rand. Yeah, that's nice.
It's not as much as a million USD, but I'll tell you what, 1 million rand with the correct spirit is a lot of money.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So then it's being filtered towards just specific like machinery that we want, specific camera, specific machinery that'll make us able to just produce high-end stuff. And then from the charges that we make from these things, we will then be able to fund the rest of the media house. A million rand is not a lot for a media house because like making ZBC with a million rand, you cannot do that. But with the right spirit, even a dollar takes you far.
Yeah, I understand. So you mentioned aspects to do with specific machinery. So a lot of people out there they just think being a photographer you just need a camera, one camera. What's your perspective on that one? Yeah, how did you start? Did you start with the one camera? Did you start even with a camera? How did you even started?
Okay. I didn't have my own camera at first. I just had that charity work camera where they're just documenting. It's just there was just that moment when there was the right spirit in the air. That right spirit in the air where I felt like this is a holy moment. Let me capture this. So then I didn't have a camera at first. It actually took me, because I was saving up an allowance that I had from my charity work, it took me 2 years to buy my first camera. I just save up my allowance. It was 1,250 rand a week. And I just save it. And then at one point, I could get a camera. I got one.
That's beautiful. So those people who do have one camera as well, I'm just saying cameras like there are so many. So what's your perspective about them? Is one camera enough to be a photographer?
One camera is all you need. It doesn't even need to be the latest camera. It could be an old camera. Photography is more light than it is your camera.
So let's talk about the machinery that you're referring to. What exactly? What are these types of machinery that you need as you are starting a media?
All right. So essentially, you need a computer which can process media fast. So you dump a bunch of the money there. Of course, we'll have to be as economic as possible.
Yeah, of course.
You know, if we're processing a movie, it mustn't take like the whole week and we can't use the computer. Fast computer. 1. 2, good, clear camera. Makes us able to charge standardly for weddings, work for the bank. There's a Simbisa Brands contract, which I just got approved by the national manager of Chicken. It's coming back from his lawyers soon, and they'll tell us any other perspective, but he approved it. And we'll be able to just charge standardly for that, should we have just good equipment to make clear video. It doesn't necessarily even need to be expensive, honestly. A clear video is clear. It doesn't matter what's coming out of it.
Yeah, of course.
Clear video, clear photo. We'll have a machine for printing, not banners. What is this? Larger. Billboards. Printing form of machine. Could be billboards, could be magazines. We'll just see exactly what specific one. We need to do some surveys so that we can like figure out like what our market exactly needs and wants. And then we can put the rest into that. From that point forward, everyone who I'm going to hire is going to have a camera, or they'll use my own. We're going to use Spirit from that point.
Okay, yeah, brilliant. So those who might join us, we are listening to my station, your station, ZiFM Stereo, one station that I always say brings you nothing but the best. Today we are having a conversation with Veneka Zirune. He's an 8-time international published magazine photographer. Yes, you know what, you always get to talk with different people who are doing brilliant in all different walks of life. So let's talk about the trends of technology. As you know, the world is evolving. As a photographer, how are you coping with that?
Okay, so as a photographer, I'm ignoring technology.
Why? Because we are now talking about the AI generating photographers, AI generated pictures.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So how are you coping with that as a person?
All right, I'm going to have an interesting answer.
Yeah.
As a photographer, I am ignoring technology.
Why?
So when it
Aren't you
comes
supposed to be hand in hand with technology?
In theory. Let me explain.
Yeah.
I have to break it down. I said something interesting there. So the thing that you're selling in a photo is not the perfection of the photo. It is the spirituality of the photo. In the same way that with art, you are not selling the perfection of the art. You can generate something in a computer, which is a perfect artwork.
But aren't you talking about, when you are talking about photography, good picture qualities and so forth, aren't you talking about HD, that's high definition? Is the picture quality? So it gets me to ask my question, Kuti. When you are selling pictures to these international magazines, what does they require, or what's the recommendation for that picture? Is it the quality? Is it the concept? Is it the storytelling? What exactly?
Okay, so what they require is the concept, firstly, and then secondly, all you need in order to make a photo which is able to be the size of a billboard, meaning a photo you can zoom in, all you need is 8 megapixels. That's all you need. Anything more is if you're trying to do something extra, but realize also that we live in a world of marketing. There are tricks to this. So you can be marketed into thinking you need the latest Canon. Do you? There's someone who will defeat you with a beginner camera. Why is that? They understand the basics. So sometimes ignore technology and pay attention to the basics. There's a photographer in 1980 with a super old camera who will kill you today with their super old camera just because they know how to light that subject such that it's dramatic. They know they've got a clean lens, they know how to focus it, and they'll make a picture legitimately better than you and all your technology. So you have to actually unplug a little bit from technology in order to be able to use basics.
It gets me to ask one of the crucial questions. How do you manage lighting? Sort of like lighting. Light. How do you manage light in photography as a person?
Okay.
You're understanding that light is one of the greatest enemy that we need to fight when we are dealing with photograph and videograph. So as a person, how have you been managing light?
Okay. So as I've been maturing as a person, I'm 26 years old. There's more maturing to be done. But as I've been maturing as a person, I've been realizing I have less enemies than I thought. Each thing is my ally. A light which is blasting from behind my subject actually made me able to make the top picture in my portfolio. I call it the Spirit of Africa. It's one of the pictures that's that I'm winning an award for. So that light, should I immediately think, yo, it's my enemy, I need to make sure that I'll miss out that it's giving me a holy something where it's not a normal photo, but I mustn't fight it. So I shouldn't think of it as my enemy. I just know the principles of lighting, which I've read from books. I know where can I put a light to make a normal human head look good. And then from that point forward, I just forget the principles. I take a look and I try to keep a positive mentality.
Brilliant, brilliant. So interesting. But time is getting jealous, and it has been a wonderful conversation. So let's delve into maybe one or two last questions for our segment. What has been your favorite project? One project that maybe whenever you think about it, you get excited that no, I did justice on this project.
Okay, so that project is my Spirit of Africa project,
The Spirit of Africa,
which is spearheaded by that piece that I told you about. That's
first
the one.
So is this the first project that made you famous?
Oh, that's not the first project that made me famous, but it's the first one which I put into an award show, and now I'm going to represent Zimbabwe in South Africa for it.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, I've never been an awards or competition person. I'm very practical. So if a person uses my photo, I'm happy about that.
Although you're going to strike that person with copyright.
Oh, I don't care. It's not like that. It's not like that. Like I can ask you to accredit me or something like that, but I'm not vicious in such a way. Even if you don't want to, whatever. There's enough business for all of us in the world.
Yeah.
You don't lose your time for finding the right customer in arguing with someone who took your photos. Do not lose your time. Do not lose your time on that person. Leave them. Yes. So that's my favorite project, The Spirit of Africa. I have a trailer also on Tonga Artistry on YouTube. That's TONGA ARTISTRY. It's a YouTube channel that I made.
You can come again for listeners.
Okay, good. So for listeners, it's TONGA ARTISTRY. No spaces. TONGA ARTISTRY. No spaces. If you search that on YouTube, you'll find a channel called Tonga Artistry. That is my media house channel. And the logo is a T with a golden circle around it. I have an African royalty themed photo shoot where I feature some of the photos from my project. If anyone wants to look into it, and if anyone wants to hire us to do media as a media house.
One key aspect, have you done collaboration, or are you looking for collaboration, maybe in terms of photography?
Okay, so there's one collaboration with an international French photographer who I'm going to be with when I'm in South Africa for the award. I forget her name. There's this one, and then other collaborations I've done are with Standard Bank and Red Bull International. However, I try not to focus on collaboration all that much, mainly because my style of photography brings out the magic of a normal person. That's the style. So I'm not going to look for a celebrity when I'm trying to make you, the normal person, more beautiful than that celebrity ever could be. So my collaboration becomes limited. Although if Red Bull says, come and let's have some fun, I'm not opposed to that.
Of course, yeah. So what are your future timely goals that maybe turning maybe into 6 years, 7 years? Maybe we need to look back and say we agreed to these things.
Okay, 6 or 7 years. I want to have expanded my media house such that at least it's a 6-7 million rand like venture. Right, I'd like to be able to shelter and help the artists who are having trouble in our like community, the people where they are a high standard, high quality artist, but they're being consumed by this lack of money because they don't have a good salesman behind them, good marketing behind them, a good team behind them. I want to have made a haven, a safe shelter, a place where they can be there comfortably and produce their art. Their art will become their 9 to 5, and I'll facilitate that.
Brilliant. Maybe as we are parting, maybe one or two last keywords maybe to those who might need to pursue a career in photography.
keywords for those who might want to pursue a career in photography are simply do it, ignore everyone, do what comes from your spirit.
Brilliant. So those who might need to follow you, what's your social media handles?
Okay, good.
For Facebook, Instagram, X, and also maybe your phone numbers.
Are we able to pause for a second? I'm exploding.
It's okay.
I'm coming. In the toilet.
You have a problem. Sure. Agora sim. Wait. Good one.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Cool. No more. So good. To save here. Oh, sure. Maybe we on that the last part. Maybe when you share in your socials. Yeah, you can.
Okay, all right, great. So there's different socials you can find me at. So basically, there's my own brand, which is a network of photographers. It's called Hustle Factor. It's spelled HUSTLEFACTOR, Hustle Factor. If you search this on YouTube, you'll find me. No spaces in any of these words, Hustle Factor, HUSTLEFACTOR. And the other one is Tonga Artistry. That's TONGA ARTS. TONGA ARTISTRY, Tonga Artistry. If you search that on YouTube, you'll also find me. Then generally, should you search my name, Veneka Dziruni, VENEKA DZIRUNI, on the internet, newspaper articles will come up, and any social media that I have will come up. I'm on over 13 social media platforms, so these you can also find me there. Then also finally, my own website, hustlefactor.co.za, hustlefactor.co.za. This is my personal site, and I network photographers through there.
Thank you. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Let me wait for that. When? Venega sold zero. And you, there's at save.